Hello and welcome to our course Marketing Management Part 2. We are in week 1 and this is session 5. I am Shashi Shekhar Mishra and I have with me my senior colleague Professor Jayanta Chatterjee.
Hello.
We are going to continue what we were discussing in the previous session, that we started talking about the new product development process, and at the beginning of the session we have emphasized why new products are so important to or the innovations in general is so important to any society, and why new products are important to the survival of any organizations. So in that context we have introduced this stage gate system of new product development process, and we have talked about the different stages and the gates at the end of each of these stages, what happens inside each of these stages, and why organizations have predetermined criteria for evaluating each of the stages. Then we have also very briefly talked about the limitations of a stage gate system, that while implementing this stage gate system, what you should be knowing about this process, that any limitation of this process should not hurt your new product development process. So continuing from there, we have started talking about what contributes to the success or failure of new product development process, and in the literature if you look at the success factor or the performance of new product development is said to be dependent on two broad type of factors, that is business unit level factors, the drivers at the business unit level, and the critical success factors at the project level. So we discussed about the major drivers at the business unit level in the last class, and we have talked about in detail what are the drivers, that the first one was high quality new product development process, how you execute the different stages, what importance should be given to fuzzy front end because it has a far reaching effect on the success of the new product development process, and what are the different approaches to fuzzy front end. So we can choose to be a market driven, where the ideas come from the market and accordingly the products are designed and offered in the market as per that. On the other side, you could be market driving, that is technological development at the organization level, which are basically transformed into the product, and those are basically pushed into the market. So that's market driving approach.
So like this example is that suppose a company is manufacturing potato chips, and the market customers are needing potato chips which are low on fat, or not using any trans fat. So that customer new requirement, when that comes back to the organization and based on a new series of potato chips are released which have fat substitutes or very low oil or very no trans fat sort of thing, that becomes an incremental new product which is coming out of market feedback. So that is, I think, market driven.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, like we have this famous example of 3M and the Post-it, which was developed in a laboratory almost through an accident and became a roaring successful product. So both are valid approaches.
Yeah. So the basically the trends in the market, like increasing health awareness, leads to different kind of new products like low fat products. Not only it's limited to chips, I think the health drinks which are coming into the market, they are low on the fat. On the other side, the other example of market driving could be something like an ultrasound or echocardiogram machine. The diagnostic centers might already be using an equipment which was a previous generation, but which works pretty well and provides you the information about the patient in a quite good way. But because of the technological advancement, the new series of the products comes into the market, and you can bring the products, you can bring a new product which probably diagnostic center may not exactly might have stated as their need, but once you take to them, they will also realize that it enhanced the diagnostic or the requirements of the diagnosis of the patient. They better help the doctors to understand the disease or the patient's the status of health. So you can understand the customers will not state their needs, but the technological advancement will help you in better serving those needs. So these are basically the market driven things, market driving things. With this we talked about a clear new product strategy, where we talked about the organizational goals and the role of products, how each new product has a role to basically in the overall portfolio of the product from the company. Then we talked about the resource allocation and the quality of project teams. Now today what we are going to discuss about is the project level factors that predicts the success, or they critically contribute to the success of the products. So the first thing that comes into this discussion is the product superiority, the product differential. So the very first thing that comes into the discussion is how differentiated a product is. A new product by terms, it should be different. If there is no significant difference in the new product from the existing product, its relative value or the differential advantage gets reduced, and accordingly the customers, it may not excite the customers. So the unique customer benefits create basically a advantage for the firm, and the superior value basically provided by this new product contributes to the success of that new product. The next factor that comes into the picture is the sharp early product definition. So how clear you are about the role of the product, to which customer it will go, how will you take it to the market, and the entire things which are related with the strategic marketing plan. If you are clear about that, I think you can go back to our discussion in the marketing management part 1 when we talked about what is target market. From there you can understand that the clear the product definition is, like if there is a clear picture who the customer is, what their requirements are, what is the consumption environment of the customer is, how they basically consume a product, they help you to basically build a product which caters to the need of the customer in a better way. So that basically gives you the idea like what should be the product concept, what should be its benefit, and that leads you to specifying the requirements from the product and the product specification. The next thing that comes into the picture is solid upfront homework. So this is about before development begins. This is precisely what we talked about in the fuzzy front end, the maximum uncertainty part of the product development process, where things are not so clear, and because things are not so clear and there is an informal way of managing the process, and that is where the maximum problems happens.
And also, as we discussed, that this is a stage where your cost incurred or investment is low, but its impact on the future product architecture or the future cost structure is very high. So this is where, as you have rightly said, that we need to do very solid upfront homework.
So we will talk about the solid upfront, what comes inside it again. Then the next thing is that high quality marketing activities. So the activities which undergoes in this product development process in every project is assessment, research, testing with customers, and launch. So how seriously and how meticulously you are doing these activities contribute to the success of the product. High quality technological activities, again that assessment, development, testing of pre-production and production related thing also contribute to the success factor. Then cross functional team, how the different organizational functions comes together, how they gel well, so that they can there are no interdepartmental gaps in new product development process, how the accountability is set in the team, and how basically the product leader drives the team. These are another set of factors that contribute to the success of new product. So these are the project level factors that contribute to the success of a new product that we have discussed. And when we talk about solid upfront homework, it basically it includes 3 dimensions. It includes the preliminary market assessment, it includes the preliminary technical assessment, as well as includes the preliminary business assessment.
Very good.
And in this case you will see that this, when we talk about the market assessment, it includes the detailed market study and market research, which will probably involve the user needs and want studies. You try to understand the consumers, and when we say that we try to understand consumer needs, we not only look into the stated needs, we look into the latent needs of the customers, we look into their overall consumption environment, we look into even the cultural values, because these are the important things that once they come in the form of the product, they should set probably very well in the overall consumption environment of the customer. So, value in use studies, competitive analysis, concept tests, these are the important part of the market research or the market studies. They help you understanding the customer needs better. Then there is the technical assessment part, which includes assessing the technical feasibility of the different concept, how feasible the concept are. You can think of wonderful ideas, but they may not
correct,
definitely they may not appropriately be converted into the product. So, technical feasibility is important. With the available technological knowledge and the available production systems, you should be able to cater a product.
I think that is a very important point, that it can, technical feasibility should be assessed in terms of your own organization's competency framework.
Yes.
So, something may be technically feasible if it is done in Germany, or something may be technically feasible by even in an organization which is competing with you, but it may not be technically feasible inside your organization.
Yes.
And therefore, that is this what customer desires, that has to be balanced with these two other factors.
Yes. Yeah.
This technical
So,
feasibility
the
and
organizational capabilities have to be matched with the customer requirements, and that
yes,
takes you to the feasible ideas in terms
Yeah.
of the technology. Yeah. So, very well said. And the next thing is that that leads you to identify the technical likely solutions, deal with the technical risk, and managing technical risk is very important, as you talked about in the previous class, that when you talked about in terms of the financial feasibility, in terms of managing your portfolio of risk. So, risk of cash flows. At the same time, you need to basically take technology projects. You should have a portfolio of projects in terms of the technological risk also. So,
Correct.
there are certain projects, they are certainly possible with the existing knowledge that an organization pursue, and also you can look into the certain projects which are long term project, where you work on a radical technologies, but if feasible, they will provide a certain differential advantage to the organization.
so there you may have to acquire competency.
Yeah, so you have to acquire competency, you have to probably integrate the knowledge external to the organization.
Correct.
So that you build the competency over the period of time, but once you build those competency, they will probably put you in a place in the competitive scenario where you are differentiated from your
Right.
competitors.
Sure.
So, assessing manufacturability. So, another important thing in this technical assessment is you need to understand the how the new product is going to be produced in the your production facilities. So, the root cause, probable capital requirements, all these things are important. Then the last thing that though looks very peripheral in terms of deal with the safety, health, legal and regulatory issues, but they are becoming extremely important.
Sure.
That how you manage, I mean, you should be able to bring new product within the regulatory environment. You should not be hurting these days the environment in a wrong way. So, these are the critical issues when you have to think when you are planning for new products. The last thing that in the solid upfront work is the third dimension is building the business case. So, assessing the economic and business rationale for new products. So, you have to look into the detailed financial analysis of the product and the business risk involved with that, and you have to map it with your launch plan. So, these are the three things, these three dimensions which constitute to the solid upfront work, which contributes very heavily to the success of new product. Now, I will take you back, or I will refer you back to the story of this Honda Activa. So, we discussed in marketing management 1 about this case study. this case study we have just taken to illustrate what we have discussed. This is not to basically illustrate the good practices or the bad practices or anything in particular about any organization, but when we have discussed this case study, I will talk to you about this, that this product was launched in 2001 in India, and when it was launched in a very short time, in about a decade, it became one of the top selling two wheeler, and sometimes it has been the most sold out two wheeler in the country. So, why it crossed this 1 crore mark in the country we have discussed, and then what we have understood from this case study was that company has sensed the market opportunity very well. They have gone into the user needs so well, and I will explain to you. They have understood the Indian conditions and the Indian needs. So, they have understood the transportation need of all family members. They have understood Indians prefer manageable size of the scooter. Traffic congestion in the city is another thing. The trend that they have understood, that this is important for the design of the product, limited parking space, and the Indians prefer vehicle which have low maintenance and comparable fuel economy. So, understanding these things, they came out with a product which was attractive to both male and female, so that caters to the need of overall family. So, anybody can drive the vehicle in family. Now, another thing that comes in this Honda Activa is that it is something which is very easily, what you say, it has a very easy handling. So, you can go into the congested area with very less effort, you will not feel tired, and this is a basically automatic scooter. So that is something, another thing that has contributed, and it comes out with a new HET technology that gives it a very good fuel economy. So, smaller in size is another factor, plenty of space for storage, anti-theft locking, competitive pricing. Some of the things you will see, they are very specific to the Indian market, and that is why understanding the opportunity and designing the product as per the needs of the market has contributed to the success of this product.
Excellent.
So, I think you want to.
No, I was saying that this is an important point, that sometimes a feature like here, this anti-theft locking, it appears that it is a no big deal, or in case of many foreign two-wheeler products, this will be considered as a unnecessary or low need item, but in Indian situation this can make a big difference. So, understanding your market in its entirety, the consumers logical needs as well as consumers emotional needs, and then designing your product accordingly within the technical feasibility boundary to create a better commercial viability, I think. So, this as they do at IDEO for new products, they have this test, they call it the DVF model, that is desirability, viability and feasibility. Desirability from customers perspective, feasibility from your organization's perspective and technology and competency perspective, and viability from a commercial standpoint from your own financial needs,
business case,
your business case. I think one of the areas of new product is also to look at a product or service. Maybe after we have done our module on service management, we can come back to this new product, new service and new business model management. Sometimes a very successful product, a new product can fail due to a wrong business model. So, some of these we can discuss at a later stage after we have laid the foundation. So, I think today we can wind up here.
We can wind up, and as Professor Chatterjee has talked about a couple of very important points, and that might be making it very clear that managing a new product development process in the larger organization is different from the small time startups or the firm in the SME sector. So, tomorrow we are going to talk a little bit about on that issue, that how the new product development process in the large firm is different from the small startup firms.
Good.
And when you are in a small time startup, what you should do differently from this large firms. So, from there we are going to start in tomorrow's session. For now, we are saying goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you.